Ending the ball game, and off we go. Baseball as usual in Milwaukee. The 1-1. India took a breaking ball for a strike. And it's 1-2 on India. The longtime Cincinnati Red coming over to Kansas City in a trade. A new opportunity and a new position for him, playing at third base. Bobby Witt Jr. next, and then Vinny Pasquantino. 1-2 pitch. Fouled just over our heads. You were ready. Lane, you were ready.
I felt like you had to try to make a play on that ball this early in the season.
No doubt. You
July, I'm probably getting out of the way. But this early, too much attention on it. Got to try.
Just right above us. 1-2 again. And a line drive over the head of Dunn and into left field for a base hit. Yelich cuts it off and gets it into the cutoff man. Leadoff single for Jonathan India. Well, if anything else, we got to protect the beautiful wrap that's behind us that the Brewers put together. Usually this is just pockmarks and foul balls, and of course we had the one spot of the dent that was behind Uke's head there for a long time. His yearly reminder to get down and get out of the way. But it's all wrapped up with his signature call. Get up, get out of here, gone, and the microphone and his signature right behind us. Pitch to Bobby Witt Jr. is up and in, 1 ball, no strikes. And if it weren't for Aaron Judge last year, Witt probably wins the MVP last season in the American League. 30-30 season, 32 homers, 31 stolen bases, and led the league in hitting. 1-0 from Rodriguez. And a swing and a miss at a fastball. 1 ball and 1 strike on Witt. The Brewers defensively today, a minor change from the series in New York. Jackson Churrio's doing the DHing, so it's Yelich in left, Mitchell in center, Frelick in right. Give you the infield after this. 1-1 from Rodriguez to Witt Jr. And it's a chopper on the third base side. Off the glove of Rodriguez, no play anywhere. First and second with nobody out. Infield single, and the speed of Bobby Witt Jr. just speeding everything up. Not a great start for Elvin Rodriguez. 2 hits, but you're a ground ball away from mitigating the mess. Capra, Ortiz, Turang, and Hoskins, that's third to first on the infield. And William Contreras does the catching for Milwaukee. In 4 games, Contreras has started them all. Vinny Pasquantino, the DH. He's homered and driven in 3 so far this season. The pitch is up and in. 1 ball to no strikes. Pasquantino a year ago, 19 homers, 97 driven in. When the Brewers went to Kansas City in May, had a really good series. Slightly open stance from the left side. And the 1-0. Outside, 2 balls and no strikes. And the Brewers trying to get on the right side of the win column. 0-3 to start the season. First time since 2015 that they have begun a season at 0-3. 2-0 pitch to Pasquantino. Popped him up, foul territory. And that is in the seats for a souvenir. 2 balls and 1 strike, and that was some solid contact on that foul ball. I hope everybody is okay. That was a loud ricochet. Ushers and medical staff inside American Family Field are the best in baseball. And some attention being paid to that fan behind the Brewers dugout. 2-1. And that is slightly low. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Can never have enough netting, but on that one, this can do nothing about it. 3 balls and a strike on Pasquantino. India and Witt take the lead in the pitch. A swing and a miss. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Trying to get the first out in this first inning. Rodriguez, the conversation before the game, try and give you as much depth as you can. 13 pitches already. 3-2 to Pasquantino. Fouled away. We'll do it again. Salvador Perez is on deck. Rodriguez gets used a ground ball in a bad way right now. 3-2. Fly ball instead to right. Sal Frelick under it, short of the warning track. He'll make the catch. Everybody's tagging. Witt stops at first. Moving to third is India. And Rodriguez officially has an earned run average. He gets the first out of this first inning.
After this weekend, a ball hit like that, you hold your breath. Right?
No doubt about that. That is gone in Yankee Stadium with that short porch down the right field line. Felt like everything that was hit in the air over the weekend was getting out for the Yankees off their bats. Brewers hit a couple of home runs. Vinny Capra, Bryce Terang, Jake Bauers in yesterday's game, but got outscored 36-14 in the series. Here's Salvador Perez, hitting .250 in the early going. Another great season for the future Hall of Famer. The pitch is a strike right down the middle at 96. And he talked to Pat Murphy before the game and trying to get Elvin Rodriguez and his emotions in check, making his first start back in the United States in almost 2 years. This pitch jammed foul, ends up in the second deck, and it's 0-2. Showed great promise in spring training. Last outing was 2 innings against Colorado back on the 23rd, 8 days ago. And struck out 5 in those 2 innings. It's a head 0-2 on Perez. And the pitch. Struck him out with a breaking ball. 2 away. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin strikeout for Elvin Rodriguez. And he's got a chance to get out of this inning if he can get Michael Massey. Massey hitting just 182 in the early going. He's yet to homer. He's driven in 1. After back-to-back singles opened up the game, Rodriguez has taken a breath and he pumps in strike 1 on Massey. Illinois native. India's lead from third, Witt from first. The pitch is outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. A little surprised Witt hasn't thought about running in the last couple of batters. Hoskins holds him. Deep and straight away in the outfield for the Brewers. Here's the 1-1. And it's hit to left. Yelich on the run in the corner. Over his glove and over the wall for an extra base hit, an automatic double for Massey, and because it went over the wall, Witt has to go back to third. So Massey goes the other way, picks up a double, and the Royals strike first. Well, for Christian Yelich, thought he had a pretty good beat on that ball in the left field corner, but it just kept slicing away from him. And it brings Chris Hook out to have a word with Elvin Rodriguez. Hit off that warning track just away from his glove. Missed it maybe by an inch. And then over the fence for an automatic double. Every trip to the mound brought to you by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Potawatomi Sportsbook has dozens of sports betting kiosks, a massive video wall, seating for over 200, full food menu and bar, VIP seating, and so much more. It's a sports betting paradise. Bet above the rest.
Might have been lucky that he didn't get any of the glove on it, because if he gets any kind of glove on it and doesn't make the catch, it probably doesn't bounce up over the wall, and that's worth 2 runs.
Well, Chris Hook on his way back after 21 pitches so far from Rodriguez in a game where the Brewers need some length. Now to Rodriguez. Down a couple of pitchers, of course. Abner Uribe serving his suspension. Hunter Renfroe, the former Brewer, is at the plate and takes a breaking ball down and in. 1 ball and no strike. Second year for Renfroe in Kansas City. Ends the streak of him being on a different team every year for a while. San Diego, Boston, Milwaukee, the Angels, Kansas City. 2-1. Or they should say the 1-0. Line to left. Yelich not going to get there either. 2 runs will score. And it's 3-0 Royals. So a new city but the same result against his Brewers pitching staff. That one off the end of the bat from Renfroe. And 3 two-out runs have scored for the Royals. Got that second out with a strikeout of Perez. Had Renfroe out in front, but strong enough to get it out in the left and in front of Christian Yelich. MJ Melendez is the hitter. First one to him is a high strike, and it's 0-1. Just one of those starts to the season for the Brewers pitching staff. The 0-1 is another strike at the top of the zone. And it's 0-2. Learned before the game that Aaron Civale's going to have to miss some time. Left the start yesterday because of a hamstring issue. Pat Murphy seemed to think it wouldn't be super serious, but enough to have him miss a couple of weeks. The 0-2, a half swing and a miss. He went through, and that ends the inning finally for Rodriguez. The Royals with 3 in the first. Brewers coming up. A lot of game left. From American Family Field in Milwaukee on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by April of 23. Tommy John surgery, came back and pitched out of the bullpen last year and pumps in strike one. 92-mile-an-hour fastball. And it's 0-1. Churio hitting an even 200, had a really tough opening day in New York. 0 for 5 with 5 Ks, a better weekend. 0-1 pitch is low with a changeup. 1 ball and 1 strike. Quick Trip Around the Bases is presented this month by Mars and Wrigley. Today's contestant in the Quick Trip Around the Bases contest is Lisa C. from Middleton. 1-1 to Churio. Swing and a miss. And it's 1-2. The Brewers score in the first inning. Lisa would win a $100 Quick Trip gift card. Compliments of Mars, Wrigley, and Quick Trip. Lisa C. 1-2 on Churio. Going in on him. The pitch. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Fastball at 94 right down the middle, and Churio strikes out for the first time today. And now it's Christian Yelich. Yelich with just 1 hit in the early going. An RBI single on Saturday, part of the 20-9 loss against the New York Yankees. Brewers scored enough, 14 runs. Typically that's pretty good in 3 games. This one lined foul third base side, may have broken his bat, and did. So we'll get a new WAR club and get back to work. The only problem was the Yankees scored 36 runs. And also hit 15 homers. But a new series, and we don't have to worry about the Yankees until hopefully the playoffs. That would be ideal. Otherwise, you deal with them in 2026. 0-1 on Christian Yelich. First home game for him since July of last year. And the breaking ball catches the inside corner for a strike, and it's 0-2. Good to have everybody back. Landed last night after a Magellan-esque route just because of some bad weather. Pilot Dave did a great job getting us home. The 0-2, and Yelich swings and misses. Perez blocks and throws to first to record the out. Back-to-back Ks for Churio and Yelich. And now William Contreras gets a crack at Bubic. I landed just before 8 o'clock last night. Had an opportunity for some of the kids that had never been to Milwaukee, some of the guys that have been on this team for the first time, to settle in for a few winks and then get right back to the ballpark and get ready to go and play today. Going in on Contreras, Bubic, always from the stretch, throws up and in. Ball one.
It's the part of baseball that always amazes me, and when you get to do what we do, we get to see it up close, just how fast life comes at these guys from the end of spring training till they finally get settled in whatever city they're going to play in for that year.
1-0 fouled away. 1 ball and 1 strike.
And some guys have to do it in the middle of the season. If they're moved, it really is an incredible part of this game that I think a lot of us take for granted.
The hard work of the traveling secretary and the clubhouse staff. 1-1. Fisted foul and off the netting behind home plate. Count goes to 1-2 on William Contreras. In the circumstance of Aaron Savali goes on the injured list, you got to have somebody up and replacing him for a 1 o'clock game today. Grant Anderson's on a flight from Nashville, and here we go. Buckle up, and you're a Brewer.
Here's your hotel keys.
1-2 pitch, and it's back to the backstop on the fly. 2-2 on William Contreras. Not even making mention of the family members that want to come and watch you play too. It's a whole different ball of wax. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and Bubic strikes out the side in the bottom of the first. So after a 3-run top half for the Royals, Bubic goes strikeout, strikeout, strikeout. On our way to the second. side corner. It's 0-1 on Mark Canha, who was traded to Kansas City about a week ago, right before the Brewers broke camp, basically. The 0-1 is inside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Canha making the start at first base today and provide some depth at first base and at DH. Here's the pitch, and it's popped up, foul. Headed towards the second deck and almost caught. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Packed house at American Family Field. Tailgaters were out early. I pulled up, about 8:15 this morning, and there was a good line of cars all the way around. Canha pops it up. On the infield for Rhys Hoskins right near the first base bag and makes the catch. Lead man is gone in the second inning. It's always great to take a lap around the parking lot and smell the grills going. Baseball's back in Milwaukee, some overcast skies. The roof is closed, the panels are closed, but we can see through the open area, and the sun is out. Deceptive, because it's pretty cold outside. Down and away on Michael Garcia, 1 ball and no strikes.
Yeah, I think it looks better through those windows that we're looking through than it feels.
It's warm in here, though. That one's low. Cut fastball from Elvin Rodriguez, 2 balls and no strikes. And everybody in this ballpark happy that we've got a roof in Milwaukee. 2-0. Swing and a foul held on to by Contreras. 2 balls and a strike. But we did a lap through the parking lot as we went out and said hello to our friend that we miss dearly. He's got a great view of the ballpark from his resting place. This one hit very hard out to center. Back goes Mitchell, and it's gone for Michael Garcia. Garcia hits his second home run of the season, and it's 4-0 Kansas City. Five hits early against Elvin Rodriguez. And the Royals jumping on the Brewers right-hander. Jonathan India's coming up. That was a flat fastball right down the middle, and Garcia hit it right where it was pitched. Straight away center field. Rodriguez throws to India, who's singled to open up the game, and he takes strike 1 with a cutter. 0-1 the count. Bobby Witt Jr. on deck. And the pitch is fouled back. Big cut from India. 0-2 on Jonathan. It was nice to get outside and walk through the parking lot and smell everything ready to go for opening day. Nobody offered us a sample, though. I'm a little frustrated at that, but we avoided people, too. That one's down and away. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, we were on a mission. We had a destination. We were getting there.
That's exactly what we did, but we could smell it going. All the coals were burning. 1-2. Popped him up on the infield. And foul ground now for William Contreras to make the catch for the second out. Bobby Witt Jr. hits. We smelled plenty of Usingers, and I'm sure there was a lot of that Pine River cold pack cheese spread available at those tailgates too. Wonder if anybody brought a portable freezer out and hooked it up so that you could have some Cedar Crest ice cream. I mean, that's really the way to do it, because it's the best. Pitch to Witt is a ball low. 1 ball and no strikes.
You probably could have gone dry ice in a cooler.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And with it being cold outside.
Yeah.
Probably still doing fine outside if you left it there. Witt off the end of the bat. A cue shot to Terang, and he makes the catch. And that ends the inning. Pine River cold pack cheese spreads, Usinger sausage, and Cedar Crest ice cream. Not summer without all three. Rhys Hoskins leads off at the bottom of the second.
Can't get enough baseball? Start streaming MLB now.
I try to check of the day. Time to recall the reason why I can't wash away memories from the past, stuck like a virus in my head. Sometimes I wish I just could leave those wasted years behind. When the twilight falls, I can see the ray of light, like a distant call. I realize you are the reason. Can't forget those wasted years. I realize you are the reason. When the twilight falls, I can see the ray of light, like a distant call. I realize you are the reason. Can't forget those wasted years.
Is a strike at the belt. It's 0-1. Call locally owned Loyal Family Renovations for a free inspection today. Rhys Hoskins, hitting 167 in the early going, is yet to homer. He's driven in one. A 1 pitch, and it's hit foul at home plate. 0-2 on Rhys Hoskins. 26 home runs for him one season ago. 82 driven in. Looks healthy, swing looks good, more agile over at first base. Poised for another big year for Hoskins. Bubic, the left-hander, going away. The 0-2. Rolled to short. Witt waits for the second hop. Has it and throws out Hoskins. 4 up and 4 down to start the outing for Chris Bubic. Brewers baseball brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Great taste, only 96 calories. It's Miller time. Sal Frelick had a really good weekend in New York. 455 to start his campaign. Made another Gold Glove caliber catch in right. Frelick takes a bit high. It's 1 ball and no strikes on Sal, who's been entrenched in that number 5 spot in the order.
That catch he made yesterday got lost a little bit in the grand scheme of things, but what a great catch that was.
Saved runs at the time. The 1-0 is in tight. Yankees would end up widening their lead thanks to a couple of home runs. But Sal had a really good weekend. Hitting the ball all over the yard per usual. 2-0 is a strike. 2-1. Fastball at 92. The fastball plays a little harder for Bubic than that 92 to 94 would say. Oh, like Freddie Peralta's fastball, even though he has the velocity behind it, it looks like it's coming in quicker. 2-1 is outside. It's that perceived velocity. Makes Bubic tough. Three and 1 on Sal. Vinny Capra on deck. The pitch is high. Ball 4. So the Brewers have their first base runner at home. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin walk. Ortho ASAP walk right in there is the difference. And now Vinny Capra. Made quite the name for himself in spring training. And then in his first at-bat of the season, hit a home run at Yankee Stadium, no less. Brewers looking for some runs. A lot of game left. 4-0 Kansas City in the second. The pitch, Capra takes strike 1. Capra homered on Thursday, had an RBI single in the game on Saturday. Bubic throws home, and it's low in the dirt, knocked down by Perez. 1 ball and 1 strike. A reminder from your friends at Schneider and their professional truck drivers, always keep a safe distance between you and the vehicle in front of you. That's just smart. Smart driving. 101 on Vinny Capra. Born in Florida. Went to the University of Richmond. 1-1. Popped up, shallow right. Out goes the second baseman, Massey, to make the catch. 2 out for Garrett Mitchell. Mitchell hitting 200 the start of the season. Great to see everybody back at the ballpark. That's one of my favorite things for the home openers, to see the spring and summer family at American Family Field.
You walk into this place, Jeff, and you start seeing some of those familiar faces. It feels like there wasn't an off season, like you just saw them yesterday, because you get so used to seeing them daily once the season begins.
First pitch to Mitchell is a strike, and it's 0-1. You walk through the doors and you see Marty, who's manned the front desk forever, and then into the press dining room kitchen, and Lorraine and James. Big hugs. They look great. The 0-1. Mitchell takes a strike, and it's 0-2. Yeah, walk in the booth for the first time since Game 3 of the wild card series for a game, and it hits you. It hit you like a ton of bricks today, of all the days. Throw over to first, and back is Frelick, but we've got our baseball family with us, and when we came up to the booth, saw Bob's wife Judy, son Bob Jr., his wife Kathy, Bob's other daughter Sue, and granddaughter Emily, and it felt like home again as Garrett Mitchell fouls it away. Stays at 0-2. You see everybody in the clubhouse. You see Tony Miggs down in the clubhouse in his office. Roger Kaplinger and his wife Jackie, that came up to the booth, and Randy Olowinski. You see everybody that is part of your life during the spring and summer. And it just makes you feel like it's all going to be okay. Mitchell hits it off the end of the bat, third base side, and that's going to be a base hit. So it extends the inning with an infield single, and the first home knock belongs to Garrett Mitchell. But it is great to see everybody, and we all shared a toast. We all cheers to our friend Uke, who's here somewhere. Mm-hmm. Where do you think Uke is, other than the seat next to us? He wouldn't sit there because we have this huge bouquet of flowers, and he wouldn't be able to see anything. He'd say, "Get that out of here." He's got to be upstairs, right?
He's everywhere.
Yeah. He's with everybody.
Everywhere throughout this ballpark. I know these fans have him.
First pitch strike on Joey Ortiz.
These fans have him with them.
That's right. The amount of Euchre jerseys, sweatshirts, T-shirts, saw license plates that people turned into necklaces. There's a strike on Ortiz, and it's a quick 0-2 on the Brewers shortstop. He is going to be with us every single day, forever. He's watching. Hopefully the Brewers have a good comeback in them. The 0-2 is fouled away, and it stays no balls and 2 strikes. Frelick leads from second, Mitchell from first, trying to get them around. 0-2. Ground ball hit towards the middle. Tough play. Witt's got it. Throws to first. It's wide. And Ortiz is safe. So an infield single for Joey Ortiz as he legs it out. And it brings up Bryce Terang. Last year, the year of the Grand Slam. Can they start another trend in 2025? Terang had a couple of them. He was the bookend to the Grand Slam barrage. They hit 5 in 8 days. Hit the first one in San Diego and the last one here in Milwaukee. And Chris Bubich, the left-hander, will face the tying run at home plate in this bottom of the second inning. A walk and a pair of infield singles for the Brewers. See if they can cash in with Terang with a homer and 3 RBIs on the season. Lefty-lefty matchup. Bubich throws to the plate, and he misses down and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Starting to feel it in the stands after an initial 3-run blitz by the Royals. The 1-0. Ground ball right side. Canna boxed it up, runs to first, and that ends the inning. Took one tricky hop, but Canna stayed out in front of it and retires Terang, and the Brewers leave them loaded. On our way to inning number 3. It's 4-0 Kansas City.
Let's see if you can figure out the following baseball slang term.
Rodriguez, and stepping up to the plate with the play-by-play. Here's Lane.
All right, thank you, Jeff. Vinny Pasquantino will lead things off for Kansas City. 4 runs on 5 hits for the Royals this afternoon. No runs on now 2 hits for the Crew. And still very early, top of the 3rd inning. Pasquantino flied to right back in the 1st inning. He's 0 for 1. And Rodriguez's first pitch missed outside. It's 1-0. Well, we have been talking about our friend and celebrating him. Yes, grieving him as well. A little bit over the course of the day, and probably will into the season for a while. 1-0 is fouled back our way and out of play. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike on Pasquantino. So we might as well share some of our stories and have some fun with some of this, because some of these we've never even told on the air before. The 1-1. Pasquantino, a pop-up into shallow left center. Joey Ortiz going out onto the grass a few steps to make the catch, and there's 1 away.
I'm curious where you're going with this, Lane.
I'm going to tell a story that I don't know that I've told before, and it involves you and me and you on the road.
Ooh.
In Pittsburgh, and I believe it was maybe at the end of the 2018 or 27, I think it's 2017 season maybe. First pitch to Salvi Perez is fouled down into the dirt. It's 0-1. It was 2018. And we were in Pittsburgh, and we have a guy in Pittsburgh that we adore. I mean, we really enjoy. The 0-1 pitch is a liner into left center field. That's going to get down for a base hit in front of Yelich. Salvi Perez with a single of the one-out variety, and he's aboard in front of Michael Massey. Joe Klimchak is his name. He is the on-field reporter for the Pirates, and we've gotten to know him well over the years, and he has become a friend of ours and a friend. He was a friend of Uke, and we were there in 2018. And at this point, the relationship hadn't blossomed yet, maybe to where it would eventually lead to. Rodriguez first pitch to Massey, missed outside. It's 1-0. And the first person to really make a connection with Joe was Jeff.
Yeah.
And we would be in the dining room before games, and Joe would come in with a stack of papers and smack Jeff on the back and say hello. 1-0 is a fly ball into left. Long run for Yelich nearing the line. He will make the catch in fair territory for the second out of the inning. And there's 2 away now for Hunter Renfroe. And after he did it a couple of times, and he called Jeff by his name, and then maybe nod his head in my direction, but that was it. I wasn't upset, but I playfully started confiding in Uke, I don't understand why. He's always talking to Jeff. He's never talking to me. And Uke, of course, had fun with that. He thought that was funny. Breaking ball. Renfroe hits it high and deep, left center field. Mitchell back in a little bunny hop in front of the wall in left center. He makes the catch, and the inning is over. We will continue this story when we come back in the bottom of the third inning. 4-0 Royals on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance.
Introducing
to enter and for official contest rules. 4-0 Royals. Jackson Churio to lead things off here in the bottom of the third, and swing and a miss from Jackson on a fastball on the inner half, and it's 0-1. So we're telling this story about our friend Joe in Pittsburgh, the on-field in-venue reporter. 0-1 to Churio is an off-speed pitch up and away on a changeup, and it's 1-1 strike. And he was always talking to Jeff and smacking him on his back with his papers that he would carry around, and talking to him in the dining hall before games. And I playfully was confiding in you, as this ball's fouled back and out of play, and it's 1-2 on Churio, that I was jealous of Jeff, because Joe was always talking to Jeff, but he never said hi, Lane. And I really wasn't upset. But Uke, because he loved to mess with us and have fun with us, he took it and ran with it. 1-2 to Churio. It's a called third strike. Churio looks at a breaking ball for strike 3, and there's 1 away now for Christian Yelich. That is the 4th strikeout for Bubic. So the next day, we're eating dinner, and I'm sitting across from you, and here comes Joe into the dining area, and he walks straight up to me as Bubic looks in. And the first pitch to Yelich is through there for a strike, and it's 0-1. And he says, "Hey, Lane, how are you? Great to see you." Puts his hand on my shoulder, talks to me for a few moments, I should say, not minutes. And then he goes and gets his food and goes and sits down. A 1, that missed inside of the breaking ball. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. As he's talking to me, though, I look up, and across from me is Uke, and his shoulders are going up and down. He cannot keep a straight face, which is rare for him.
Yeah. True belly laugh.
The 1-1. Yelich sprays it fouling out of play down the third baseline, and it's 1-2. And I know immediately what had happened. Uke had grabbed him in the service area, the service tunnel, before the game and said, "You're always talking to Jeff. My guy Lane's a little jealous. Give him some attention, too." And so Joe said, I wouldn't want to upset him. 1-2. It hit Yelich. Came up and in, and it hit him. And Yelich is awarded first base. Boy, that came up and in with a 2-seam fastball. He tried to get out of the way. Royals are looking at the replay to see if that hit the knob or if it hit Yelich. Yelich immediately said, "No, it got me, and there will be no challenge from Kansas City." That came up and in, and it got him on the hand. Like the left hand fingers. He seems to be just fine. That feels like a fortunate situation for the Brewers right there. So a 1-out base runner for the Crew, and here's William Contreras.
Hopefully a glancing shot there for Yelich.
Yeah. He might have been moving it back and out of the way just enough to not take on the direct contact as much. First pitch to Contreras is down and in, and it's 1-0. But yeah, Joe, that's who Joe Klimchak is. He's one of the nicest guys you'll meet at any of the ballparks, and he didn't want to make me upset, but I wasn't really. The 1-0 pitch is outside, 2 balls and no strikes, but I will always remember the face Uke was making when I looked up as Joe started talking to me, because he was so proud that he had pulled that one on me.
He did. He had a good one. And now Kent is involved. He says hi to Kent and Josh.
2-0 pitch is in there for a strike. It's 2-1. And you started recruiting him when we would go to Pittsburgh. You would have him record a video for you to send back, and he started going up to the very roof of the stadium and these really scenic shots, and there's a lot of those to get in Pittsburgh with the way that ballpark's constructed.
He would always send a video saying hi to Uke, because that was, I think, Bob's last trip to Pittsburgh.
Yeah. 2-1 is fouled straight back into the net, and it's 2-2.
And your jealousy grew because I ended up getting Joe Klimchak's phone number, and we're buddies now.
Yeah.
You've got his phone number?
Come on,
Sorry, man.
I thought I'd made all this progress with him thanks to you. Toss to first and back in time is Yelich. That was the same trip as well where Francisco Cervelli was removed from a game due to some issues that involved the bathroom.
Yep. Gastrointestinal problems.
2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Contreras went after an elevated fastball. Strikeout number 5 for Bubic. And before Hoskins hits, 10 seconds for station ID on the Brewers Radio Network. With Jeff Levering and Ken Sommerfeld, Lane Grindle with you this afternoon from American Family Field. 4-0 Royals, bottom of the third. Hoskins takes inside, and it's 1-0. Yelich is at first with 2 outs. Whether you're crossing the state line or just going crosstown, Club Citgo can save you money on every fill-up along the way, like 3 cents off every gallon every day. When you start with Citgo, you're good to go. 1-0 is a little high, maybe a touch outside with a changeup. And it's 2 balls and no strikes on Hoskins. Yeah, at the end of that game, the Pirates had Friday night fireworks. 2-0 pitch is a chopper foul up the third baseline. It's 2-1. And they were going off as you guys were doing the final totals, and You made mention of something along the lines of, don't mind everything in the background, that's just Francisco Cervelli. Only Uke.
That's right.
Two one. And Hoskins flinches at a breaking ball down in the dirt. And it's 3 balls and 1 strike. Yelich at first, 2 away, bottom of the third. Bubic looks at Yelich, now brings home the 3-1 swing and a miss. Good changeup from Bubic. Down and away, Hoskins went after it, now the count is full. Salvi Perez, who played first base yesterday for the Royals, he will not catch as much at 35 years of age. He has a lot of miles that he's put on over the years, but he's behind the plate today. 3-2 pitch. Missed inside. Hoskins works the walk. Ortho ASAP. Walk right in. Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. There is a difference. And out first and second for the Crow. And 2 away. And Sal Frelick coming to the plate. Remember, the Brewers left them loaded in the second inning, so they have had opportunities early. Can they come up with a big 2-out hit? Frelick walked back in the second against Bubic, who's thrown 52 pitches through 2 2/3. First pitch to Sal is right through there for a strike. Slider at the very top of the strike zone. And it's 0-1. One pitch. Sal takes down and away. And it is 1-1 on Frelick, who has had a very good start to the year. Some good swings, but also just willing his way on base at times. That's the competitive nature of Sal that you see game in and game out. The 1-1. And this is a fly ball left field, going back on it and collecting it is Melendez. He makes the catch a few steps in front of the warning track. For a second, thought it might sail over the head of Melendez, but he was able to get back there in plenty of time. And the Brewers strand a pair here in the bottom of the third. To the fourth we go, 4-0 Kansas City on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance.
A message from President Trump himself.
We're just days away from the most important election happening in your state this year, the race for Wisconsin Supreme Court.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith corks one into right, down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard. Go crazy.
Catch the next unforgettable call on the MLB app and MLB.com.
It's time to say hello, baseball, as spring training continues on MLB Network. Get an in-depth look at every club with daily coverage all the way to opening day. Check in with the players. Check out the new rosters. Plus, the most live spring training games anywhere. Smile. It's already spring on MLB Network. Live games continue. Presented by Best Western. Go to MLBNetwork.com for schedule and channel number.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager said the following.
I really don't know what to say. I'm just so happy I gave something these people cheer. We all did. I mean, it was a great game. Both teams played incredible. It was a great game.
That's Mike Piazza after he hit an 8th inning go-ahead home run in the first New York Mets home game after 9/11. Hear moments like this and more on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Let's see if you can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo Taco, a home run hit to the opposite field.
Out there on the mound, first pitch to Melendez is a swing and a miss at a fastball up and away, and it's 0-1. Melendez, a strikeout victim back in the first. He's 0 for 1 today. Rodriguez 0-1 pitch is a bouncer foul up the first baseline, and quickly 0-2 on MJ Melendez. Carbless, a proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers. Premium ready-to-drink cocktails. 0 carbs, 0 sugar, 0 gluten. Find it at the ballpark or at your local grocery store. Carbless, less is more. Melendez swings on it and fouls it straight back into the net. And it stays at 0 balls and 2 strikes. On the Royals' left fielder, Rodriguez pitch, and he missed low with a curveball. Did not get the chase he was looking for there, and it's 1-2. Royals plated 3 in the top of the first inning, added another in the top of the second. That was on a solo home run from Michael Garcia. Swing and a miss as Rodriguez gets the strikeout with a cutter at the very top of the strike zone. He strikes out Melendez for the second time today. That is his third Ortho ASAP strikeout of the afternoon. Start healing faster with Ortho ASAP. Meet with a specialist today and learn more at orthowisconsin.com. So one away for Mark Canha, the former Brewer. And Canha, first pitch swinging, pops it up, fouling out of play, third base side. It's 0-1. Canha signed after spring training got started on a minor league deal by the Brewers and then traded to Kansas City in the final week of spring training for cash considerations. 0-1. And that missed a touch low with a breaking ball. That was a good pitch from Rodriguez. It's 1-1. Kansas City with a 4-0 lead. Brewers offense trying to get itself engaged against Chris Bubich. 1-1 is down and away with a breaking ball. And it's 2-1 on Canha. But Rodriguez here facing the bottom third of the order, trying to put up consecutive zeros on the scoreboard. There haven't been a lot of those early on for the Crew. This is a fly ball hit off the end of the bat into shallow left. Racing out is Ortiz, and Ortiz will call off Yelich and make the catch for the second out of the inning. So 2 away and nobody on for Michael Garcia, who homered out of the 9 spot for the second home run of the season for Garcia back in the second. Well, we want to say thank you for your service to Captain Seth Parker of the U.S. Coast Guard. First pitch to Garcia, in there for a strike. It's 0-1. Appreciate the service, all of our service men and women, and everything they do for us to keep us safe, to keep us protected. Of course, that's brought to you by Network Health. Retired veterans can turn to Network Health for affordable and reliable health plans tailored to meet your needs. Find the coverage you need and health plan experience you want with Network Health. Learn more at networkhealth.com/veterans. Fastball missed up and away. And now Rodriguez misses inside. Both borderline pitches could have been called strikes. Instead, it's 2-1. 2-1 to Garcia. He is low with a cutter. And he's behind the number 9 hitter, 3 balls and 1 strike. You've got Jonathan India, the former Red, in the on-deck circle for Kansas City. 3-1 pitch. And that missed low and away, and he walked him. So Garcia has homered and walked today. And it's a 2-out base runner in front of Jonathan India. And this is the hitter you want to take care of if you're Rodriguez, because you do not want to face Bobby Witt Jr. in this inning with runners on. And Bobby Witt Jr. is in the on-deck circle. And even though it's been a somewhat slow start to the year, you're only 4 games in. And Bobby Witt Jr., one of the players in baseball. India takes inside with a cut fastball. And boy, the Brewers dugout is barking right now, and they should be. These are good pitches from Rodriguez on the edges, and he's just not getting the calls. The 1-0 pitch. Fly ball, left center. This is playable. Yelich giving way to Mitchell, who moves underneath of it in left center to make the catch, and the inning is over. So Rodriguez puts up his second consecutive 0. We're off to the bottom of the 4th. It is a 4-0 Kansas City lead on the Brewers.
Your day in baseball starts with MLB Central.
Let's get it started.
Lead off your morning with in-depth breakdowns.
Perfect balance. What?
Boom.
Interviews with the players.
Get back to the fastballs.
I know what that passion feels like.
And a little bit
Keeping.
you behave properly.
Hey.
Of everything else.
Come on, Orange.
The window seats are...
The baseball day begins with MLB Central. Weekdays at 10 a.m. Eastern. Only on MLB Network.
If you're not watching this show, you're the problem.
Let's see if you can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo Taco, a home run hit to the opposite field.
Austin Hayes with an Oppo Taco. His 13th, and it's a one-run game.
Expand your vocabulary by listening to every game on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard. Go crazy.
Catch the next unforgettable call on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager said the following.
I really don't know what to say. I'm just so happy I gave something these people cheer. We all did. I mean, it was a great game. Both teams played incredible. It was a great game.
That's Mike Piazza after he hit an 8th inning.
Vinny Capra leads off the bottom of the 4th inning. It is 4-0 Kansas City. Brewers trying to get the offense going here against Chris Bubic, who used 55 pitches to get through the first 3 innings of this contest. Brewers have stranded 5 base runners over the last 2 innings. Bubic's first pitch, Capra swings on it, fouls it back, and the first foul ball of the year that goes into the press box next door. Who ended up with it?
Who was diving out of the way?
O'Driscoll.
Good old Timmy.
I don't think he caught it, but I'm going to say he did for the time being until somebody tells me otherwise. 0-1, Capra, fly ball, right field. That is twisting out of play. And foul, so it's 0-2 on Vinny. Brian Hudson getting loose in the Brewers bullpen. Capra, Mitchell, and Ortiz here in the 4th for the Crew. I'll give you a drive around the league. There's only one other game going on right now. Excuse me, there's two underway now. Beyond this one. 0-2 pitch. Capra takes down and in. It's 1-2. Drive Around the League is brought to you by Construction Business Group, Wisconsin operating engineers and trusted contractors building Wisconsin together. The White Sox all over the Twins early in Chicago, 9-0 in the bottom of the 4th. Capra chops that one foul at the plate, and it stays at 1-2. Orioles with a 4-2 lead over the Red Sox in Baltimore. That game's in the bottom of the 2nd. A lot of offense. And they're clearly using torpedo bats.
Clearly. How about the Braves getting an emergency order in of those torpedo bats?
That's incredible, right?
It's the darndest thing.
It's wild that we really didn't hear anything about it until now. 1-2, swing and a miss. Swung through a sweeper in the middle of the zone. And Capra strikes out. That is strikeout number 6 for Bubic. And there's one away from Mitchell.
Nobody was using them in Arizona, so we didn't really get a chance to see it. Now that information is coming out that Anthony Volpe actually used some of those bats last year, but now it feels like, okay, now we have multiple players using them. It's still a feel thing for me. It's not just, okay, these bats are so much better. You got to feel right.
Pitch missed outside. It's 1-0. Look, you had the axe handles at one point. You got the puck knobs. Bryce Terang uses that. It's a little bit, I think, as much as anything, it just mentally gives you confidence because you feel good swinging it, right? The 1-0 to Mitchell is a strike on the outside edge, and it's 1-1.
It gives you confidence that if you're going to swing the bat, you're going to make good contact.
Right.
And that's essentially what the Yankees are saying, is that Anthony Volpe gets jammed all the time. So let's put the barrel where he's going to make contact.
The 1-1 is a strike on the outside edge. It's 1-2. One of his home runs this weekend, I think it was the one he hit in the 2nd inning off of Cortez. That was a cutter up and in. He got his hands in, pulled it down the left field line. Felt like that could be a product of that bat, right?
Yeah, he didn't hit that ball hard.
1-2 pitch. And Mitchell takes high, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Aaron Judge not using one didn't seem to impact him.
No, he said, I haven't used those ever, and I had a pretty good year last year. I'm going to stick with what I got.
Hard to argue against that.
No.
2 balls and 2 strikes on Mitchell. The pitch, breaking ball, swung on and fouled back into the net. And the count remains at 2-2. And you just said nobody was using them down in Arizona. Normally with that kind of stuff, the time you learn about it is during spring training. So that's why it was wild to me that opening weekend is the first we were hearing about some of this. 2-2. And that's fouled back. And Mitchell spoils another pitch from Bubic.
I noticed the oblong shape of the bats on opening day. Wow, that looks weird. Almost like a softball bat.
Right. A bowling pin a little bit too. But yeah, softball bat. That's a good call. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Got it with a slider. Back-to-back strikeouts here in the 4th for the Crew. And there's 2 down for Joey Ortiz. No dental insurance, but you need dental care? Well, the new Wisconsin Dental Association Dental Savings Club can save you up to 55% from a statewide network of trusted WDA dentists. Join at WDAclub.com. They bring you our saves all season long. Bubic brings home the first pitch to Ortiz, a swing and a miss. And it's 0-1. Yeah, the thing I kept coming back to with where they put the wood in those torpedo bats is the 0-1 is high, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike, is that it might play a little bit like an aluminum bat can play at times, too, where you don't have to always barrel it to have great contact. You can mishit a ball and still benefit from it.
That's a good call. You're changing where your sweet spot is.
Yeah. The 1-1 popped up. This one on the infield. Bobby Witt Jr. calling everybody off. Takes 2 steps back, makes the catch, and the Brewers go down in order in the bottom of the 4th. To the 5th we go. 4-0 Kansas City on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager said the following.
I really don't know what to say. I'm just so happy I gave something these people cheer. We all did. I mean, it was a great game. Both teams played incredible. It was a great game.
That's Mike Piazza after he hit an 8th inning go-ahead home run in the first New York Mets home game after 9/11. Hear moments like this and more on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Let's see if you can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo Taco, a home run hit to the opposite field.
Austin Hayes with an Oppo Taco, his 13th, and it's a 1-run game.
Expand your vocabulary by listening to every game on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard. Go crazy.
Catch the next unforgettable call on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Your day in baseball starts with MLB Central.
Let's get it started.
Lead off your morning with in-depth breakdowns.
Perfect balance. What? Boom.
Interviews with the players.
Get back to the fastballs. I know what that passion feels like.
And a little bit.
Keeping.
You behave properly.
Hey.
Of everything else.
Brian Hudson taking over on the mound for the Crew. Hey, don't miss showdown between the Brewers and Reds at American Family Field, April 3rd through the 6th, coming up this weekend. You can get your tickets at brewers.com/tickets. Back in with the play-by-play. Here's Jeff Levering.
Thank you, Lane. New pitcher, too. It's Brian Hudson. He faces Bobby Witt Jr. in the first pitch of the 5th is a strike. Second appearance of the year for Brian Hudson. Last pitched on opening day, win an inning through 24 pitches, walked 2, struck out 1 against the Yankees. Faces the meat of the order. There's a strike on the outside corner at 92. Plenty of rest for Hudson, maybe a multiple inning appearance for Hudson after the Brewers got 4 from Elvin Rodriguez, and after the first, he was okay today. Rodriguez threw 64 pitches, 42 of those were strikes. And the 0-2 to Witt, way inside, and it hit him, says Bobby Witt Jr. I think the Brewers may take another look at this one. Witt passes off his equipment, and will the Brewers challenge it? Doesn't appear as if they will. Maybe just did clip his shoe top, maybe grazed his pant leg. Oh, yeah, got him in the foot right off of the shoelace. It's unfortunate. An 0-2 hit by pitch from Brian Hudson. And he got some havoc on the base paths. Pasquantino at the plate, and he takes strike 1. Fly out and a pop out for Pasquantino. And Rodriguez gave up 3 in the first, all with 2 outs, and then a solo homer in the second. And a toss to first, and Witt is back. And if he's able to get Massey and Renfroe, you're looking at a pretty good start from Elvin Rodriguez. So at least take that he got through 4 as a good sign for Rodriguez. And Brewers are in a dire spot with their pitching. 0-1, Pasquantino takes slightly wide. 1 ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, I feel like he probably showed enough to give him another turn in the rotation for sure. You almost have to with everything that's going on injury-wise.
I'm not sure what your other options are, as the Brewers are feeling it. This is really the last day of it, I would say. The 1-1 is outside, 2 balls and 1 strike. The Brewers for the first 4 games are without Abner Uribe, so you're a man down in that bullpen anyway. So you can get that 26th player tomorrow. That will help. An extra day of rest will help after that series in New York. 2-1 to Pasquantino in, tied again. 3 balls and a strike on the DH today for Kansas City. You know, everybody at the beginning of this season is on a constraint pitch count-wise as it is. Every team, every player, you got to build up for it. 3-1 to Pasquantino, and it's fouled off the end of the bat. Count fills up at 3 balls and 2 strikes. You're always limiting those innings so early on in the season. Give them 2-3 starts, and you're going to be back to that 85 to 100 pitch mark, depending on effectiveness. 3-2, another toss to first, and Witt is back with a dive. That's the second disengagement. We'll see if Witt extends his lead any further. But you know the reinforcements are on the way too. Tobias Myers is close to returning. Jose Quintana eligible to come back on the 11th. 3-2. And it's a called third strike on the outside corner. Out number 1 in the 5th inning, Brian Hudson. An ortho ASAP strikeout. 1 gone for Salvador Perez. And Quintana is going to throw, I believe, today and then again on the 6th. And then be available for when the Brewers get to Arizona to take on the Diamondbacks. And it's the anticipated return for Quintana. Runner takes off. The throw from Contreras will not happen. Popped in and out of his glove, and Bobby Witt Jr. swipes the bag. Not sure they would have had him with a clean exchange anyway. Witt got a great jump. Second steal for Witt. Now he's in scoring position. 4-0 Kansas City, in the delivery misses off the outside corner. 2 balls, no strikes on Perez. Single to left and a strikeout today. Trying to limit the Royals in their running opportunities. 2-0 pitch. Down and in. 3 balls and no strikes. Michael Massey is on deck, the second baseman for Kansas City. If you can get through the next 10 days pitching-wise, it should get better for the Brewers. 3-0 is ball 4, and that zone is very tight. Second freebie issued by Brian Hudson, and now a trip to the mound by Chris Hook. Every trip to the mound presented by Potawatomi Sportsbook. Potawatomi Sportsbook, dozens of sports betting kiosks, a massive video wall, seating for over 200, a full food menu and bar, VIP seating, and so much more. It's a sports betting paradise. Bet above the rest. A lot of pitches being thrown by Brian Hudson at the moment. A lot of pitches really being thrown by every Brewers pitcher. Trying to find a way to navigate through these first few ball games and get your feet under you and hope that you haven't lost so much ground within the division. I mean, it's so early to be talking about, and you play so many games over the course of a season. The Cardinals jumped out to a 3-0 lead, a 3-0 start to the season, beating the Twins. The Twins currently trailing the White Sox 9-0. You never know how it's all going to shake out. Pitches down and away on Michael Massey after the trip to the mound. 1 ball, no strikes.
Yeah, you think about the Mets last year. Brewers go in and sweep them. I think they started 0-4, 0-5 maybe, and they end up in the NLCS before it was all over. That 21 Braves team.
And they were 0-3 as well. That's outside. 2 balls, no strikes on Massey, and Hudson, just a mystery right now of where the strike zone is.
Yeah, they were under 500 in August and ended up winning the whole thing. So there is a lot of twists and turns over the course of a season. It's always just magnified early.
2-0 is a strike. Got a call. It's 2-1. And when you open up the year in New York and everything's magnified and you're under the microscope early. 2-1 on Massey. The pitch is outside. 3 balls and a strike. Peaks and valleys, the roller coaster of the season. Throw all the cliches you want out there, but they're cliches because they're true. Three-1 to Massey is a strike on the inside corner. Hudson has thrown 5 pitches in this at-bat, and none of them have been in the actual strike zone, according to our StatCast. But it's a 3-ball, 2-strike count, and he's a ground ball away from getting out of the inning. 3-2. Hit foul. We'll do it again. Massey got the Royals on the board with a double in the first. Nothing Kansas City in the top of the 5th. Witt and Perez, the runners for Kansas City. 3-2. Strike 3 called. Hudson rings up Massey. Took some time for him to calibrate, but he was right on the corner. And now Hunter Renfroe. 2-run single in the first, and then fly down to the wall in the third in front of the Brewers bullpen in left center. Great speed at second with Witt. Hudson misses high. Contreras thought about throwing behind Perez over at first base, and Rhys Hoskins just looking at Perez like, hey, I'm not covering, man. I don't know what he's thinking about. 1-0 on Renfroe. Wide open stance. Witt goes for third, and he will take it without a throw. Second steal in this inning for Bobby Witt Jr. He just took that on Brian Hudson. Totally forgot about taking another look at Witt. On the corners, the pitch to Renfroe is a strike. Fastball right on the inside corner, 2-1. Quick vibe check. A cooler full of Vizzy Hard Seltzer. That's a big vibe. Vizzy Hard Seltzer, the seltzer that passes the vibe check. Looking for some positive vibes to end this inning in the fifth. Hudson deals and missed off the inside corner, maybe a hair low. 3 balls and a strike. 2 on with 2 out, a couple of Ks for Hudson. Royals have had a runner in each of the first 5 innings. Careful on Renfroe, 3-1. Check swing, didn't go, missed inside, and the bases are loaded for MJ Melendez, a left-handed batter. So 2 walks, a hit batter, and 2 Ks. The 6th man to hit of the inning is Melendez. He struck out twice. Melendez waits on Hudson, whose first pitch is off the outside corner, ball 1. The Brewers have stranded 5 in the game. The Royals have stranded 3. They've got 3 on with 2 outs and nowhere for Hudson to put Melendez. No action in the Brewers bullpen. Delivery is a strike. That was pitch number 27 in the inning. Trying to give this crowd something to cheer about in a positive fashion. 1-1. Low. 2 balls and a strike. Hudson is more pinpoint in this inning, or at least in this sequence with Melendez. Trying to find his way back. Down to the count, 2-1 the pitch. Swing and a miss. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. That one well located on the outside corner. Still a lot of game left. The Brewers will have 9-1-2 scheduled in the 5th against Bubic at 70 pitches. Two and 2. Base is full for Kansas City. Delivery. Breaking ball, popped him up. Foul territory behind the plate. It'll be Contreras making the catch, and Hudson tap dances his way through trouble in the 5th. The Royals leave 3 on. Scoring time for the Brewers. Bottom of the 5th on the way on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by America.
Let's see if you can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo Taco, a home run hit to the opposite field.
Austin Hayes with an Oppo Taco, his 13th, and it's a 1-run game.
Expand your vocabulary by listening to every game on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard. Go crazy.
Catch the next unforgettable call on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Can't get enough baseball? Start streaming MLB Network today. Get up to 15 out-of-market games a week live on any device, plus 24/7 access to MLB Network's award-winning shows, including live game look-ins and exclusive player interviews. And hear live radio play-by-play from all 30 clubs with MLB at Bat. Enjoy the home of baseball from virtually anywhere. Plans start as low as $5.99 per month. Sign up now at MLBnetwork.com/stream. Available in the U.S. only. Blackout restriction applies. Visit MLB.com/subscribe for full terms and conditions.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager said the following.
I really don't know what to say. I'm just so happy I gave something these people cheer. We all did. I mean, it was a great game. Both teams played incredible. It was a great game.
That's Mike Piazza after he hit an...
Bottom of the 5th inning. Trailing 4-0 against Kansas City. Celebrate the Brew Crew this 414 day at the Brewers game for 10,000 fans that enter the gates. Get a special 414 day shirt courtesy of Hupy and Abraham. Go to ticketsbrewers.com/Kansas. giveaways. First pitch, strike, and that gets the Brewers dugout a little more vocal. That has not been a strike for the better part of the day for home plate umpire Brennan Miller. 0-1. Here's the pitch, and that is wide. 1 ball, 1 strike. Bubic now at 72 pitches. Been rather economical with what he's been able to accomplish. Mostly fastballs and sweepers. 1-1. Hit foul. Got away with a hanger there on Bryce Terang. He's thrown 9 changeups and only 5 strikes with that pitch. It's been essentially the fastball. Really no mystery for Chris Bubic. Feels a lot like what the Brewers saw with the Yankees left-hander Tim Hill. There's a flare in the shallow center. That'll fall for a base hit. The leadoff man is on for the Brewers for the first time in the game. Tim Hill threw nothing but fastballs in 2 games for the Yankees against the Brewers and retired every batter he faced.
Yeah, the one difference I would say is Hill's arm slot is such a challenge. Bubic is working that four-seamer up a lot, especially to the right-handed hitters, and I think it's a fairly deceptive pitch that is probably a lot tougher when you're in the box. There's a news flash. Than when you're sitting up here in the booth or sitting in the stands, because of the deception on the pitch, how it looks like it rises.
Chourio fouls it back to our right. And it's 0-1 on Jackson Chourio. Former first-rounder Chris Bubic, a sandwich pick back in 2018 between the first and second rounds out of Stanford. He's a Northern California guy. He's got some funk in his delivery, too. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. Chourio just mystified by Bubic right now. He has struck out swinging and struck out looking today.
Yeah, the way he brings the ball home, you don't really see the baseball until the very last second.
Crossfire with his action. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Chourio. Outside. Not close. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Almost as if he is striding directly towards a left-handed batter and then comes across his body. A lot of arms and legs coming at you. 1-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out for a 3rd time. So Chourio having a tough time making contact in the first 4 games of this 2025 season. His 3rd K, and now it's Christian Yelich. A strikeout and a hit by pitch his last time up. Got hit in the left hand. Terang stationary at first, down by 4, and a toss that way. He's back.
Top 3 in this lineup right now. Yelich got hit by the pitch. Otherwise, it's all strikeouts.
6 of the 8 for Bubic. Pitch to Yelich, a swing and a miss. Late on that fastball. I mean, there is some... It's not deception, but it's perceived velocity. We talked about it earlier in the broadcast. It's not coming in all that hard. 92 to 94, that's average in today's game, velocity-wise. The 0-1 outside. But the way that he throws it, with all of the action he gets with his fingers, the way that he holds them, 4 seams, it just jumps out of his hand. 1-1 to Yelich. Check swing and a foul. And ends up in the glove of Perez. Strike 2.
I think that's the thing about the game of baseball, that we get so caught up on numbers, and they're great, but not all 92-mile-per-hour fastballs are the same. And we tend to classify them all the same way, right? Mm-hmm. But that's just not the truth. The way it looks coming out of your hand, if it has any late movement on it, all of that stuff matters in how effective a pitch is.
1-2 again on Yelich, and a fly ball to left. Not deep. Melendez comes in and makes the catch. 2 away. You think of, we mentioned it again before, but Freddie Peralta's fastball. Now, he can get it up there 97, 98 miles an hour, but even his 90 to 92 has that late life on it to where it looks like it's rising when it gets to the batter. Think about a Christian Javier with the Astros who throws the invisible where it doesn't even look like the ball is spinning at all. It's a cue ball coming in. Contreras, a broken back grounder back to Bubic. Knocks it down, picks it up, underhand flip to first, and the threat is over. Leadoff single for Bryce Terang, and he stays put at first. We played 5 in Milwaukee. Kansas City 4, Brewers nothing. On the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American.
Let's see if you can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo Taco, a home run hit to the opposite field.
Austin Hayes with an Oppo Taco. His 13th, and it's a one-run game.
Expand your vocabulary by listening to every game on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Can't get enough baseball? Start streaming MLB Network today. Get up to 15 out-of-market games a week live on any device, plus 24/7 access to MLB Network's award-winning shows, including live game look-ins and exclusive player interviews. And hear live radio play-by-play from all 30 clubs with MLB at Bat. Enjoy the home of baseball from virtually anywhere. Plans start as low as $5.99 per month. Sign up now at MLBnetwork.com/stream. Available in the U.S. only. Blackout restriction applies. Visit MLB.com/subscribe for full terms and conditions.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard. Go crazy.
Catch the next unforgettable call on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager said the following.
I really don't know what to say. I'm just so happy I gave something these people cheer. We all did. I mean, it was a great game. Both teams played incredible. It was a great game.
That's Mike Piazza after he hit an 8th inning go-ahead home run.
Back to work in the bottom half of the, I should say the top half of the 6th inning, and Elvis Peguero is on for Milwaukee. His second appearance of the season. Peguero worked on Saturday, 2 innings, and gave up 2 unearned runs. A couple of hits. And second appearance again for Elvis Peguero. He'll face 8-9-1 Canna Garcia and then Jonathan India. Gives us an opportunity to remind you that you should never miss out on George Webb's double play meal deal. 7 cheeseburgers, 2 orders of fries, just $17.99. Win, lose, home or away, visit georgewebb.com for locations and details. You know, Lane, we've been talking about doing this for, 3 years? The double play meal deal?
Yes.
One day, just come on in and get those 7 cheeseburgers and 2 fries. I'm telling you, I'm going to do it.
Let's do it.
And I'm in a house.
You're going to do it all by yourself?
I can do it.
Okay.
I think I can. Said the little engine that could. That one's low on Canna, 1 ball and no strikes.
I don't think I could pull it off.
7 burgers? I mean, they're not huge burgers. They're good size.
Right.
1-0 on Canna. The fries are the killer. That's inside. 2 balls, no strikes.
The problem I have, and you know this about me, I eat too fast.
Sure.
And I think I would be like the 100-meter dash sprinter trying to run an 800-meter yard run, or 800-meter yard, that's not a thing.
You're on the border of Canada and the United States.
It's been a while since I ran track. The 800-meter run. And so, you come out really fast, and the first maybe 200 meters, you're really going hard, and then you're basically walking because the lactic acid is built up by the end of the race.
Canna takes a ball. It's 3-1.
I think that would be me trying to do that. I would just eat. The first 2 would go down so quick, and then I would just be like,
I think the fries are where I would struggle. I'd be okay with the burgers, but the fries. 3-1. Canna chops it foul again, third base side.
I think there's a trick to that. I think you put some fries in the burger, And it tricks your mind into thinking there's just less fries left when it's all over and you ate the same amount.
I feel like we're going on man versus food right now. We're trying to figure out the best route to accomplish the feat. I think we should do it one day, though. See if we can do it. 3-2 on Canna. Figueroa again throws, and he hit him. Well, Mark Canna, no stranger to get hit by pitches. That slider came in on him, and it hit him right in the elbow guard, and the leadoff batter is on by a hit by pitch for the second consecutive inning for Kansas City. The leadoff batter has reached now in half the innings that they've come to the plate. Michael Garcia, a homer and a walk. Hits for the Royals. Kansas City up 4-0, looking to get back to 500, a playoff team a year ago. First one is low with a sinker, and Figueroa has the sinker where he wants. It's low, but not getting any swing from the Kansas City offense. 1-0 pitch is a strike with a slider. Good looking pitch. It's 1-1. You know, I could eat 7 of in one sitting. Usinger's brats. At any time.
Yep, I think that's probably doable.
I know they're hearty, but I could do 7.
Sherbert?
With Sherbert on them? Mm-hmm. We're having some discussion between Michael Garcia and the home plate umpire. Now Matt Quatrero, the manager for Kansas City, is out to chat with the home plate umpire, Brendan Miller, too. And try and figure out what this discussion is. And there's a lot of pointing at the pitcher's mound and then pointing towards the catcher. I think it's a conversation about who called timeout.
Yep. I've seen a lot of timeout, according to my lip reading.
Yeah, and was it a step off from Figueroa, or did you charge Garcia with a timeout? The one per plate appearance for Garcia. So now the crew chief, Chris Conroy, comes down from first base to interject and find out the full story. I just heard him say, okay, well, let's go. And all the umpires are now going to get together and have a conversation. Bryce Terang's chit-chat with John Tumpain is going to have to be delayed momentarily while the umpires get together and sort it out. All right. This is a Brendan Miller lip reading, and our TV screen is kind of shuffled a bit. It's digitizing on us, but it sounds like the batter stepped out of the box, so I reset the pitch timer.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened.
And charged him for a timeout. So now the umpires are going to square it up.
I think the only reasonable thing they can do here is take 4 runs off the board for Kansas City.
Can you give the Brewers 2?
Yeah.
That'd be great. All right, so let's see if this would be a good time for them to use the internal public address system to explain the system. They've got it.
They all know what's going on, but not us. Oh, they're saying
Elvis Figueroa, you got to give him an opportunity to get in the batter's box and engage with your eyes. So that's what this whole conversation was about. Figueroa was ready, and Garcia stepped out of the box because Figueroa was already into the stretch. As a pitcher, you have to allow the hitter an opportunity to get his eyes on you before you come set. So that's what this is all about.
Murph got the explanation. He seems to be okay with what was delivered to him by Chris Conroy.
All right, so all it was, there was no timeout for Garcia, and it was just a, hey, make sure you're looking and make sure he's looking at you. Here's looking at you, kid. The 1-1 is a ball. All right, 2 balls and 1 strike on Michael Garcia.
Every time the umpire does the whole eyes at the pitcher, I always feel like it's circle of trust.
Yeah.
Greg?
And Robert De Niro, genius at pick green. Swing and a miss at the slider. And it's 2-2 on Michael Garcia. Oh, he picked a green automobile, Greg. You know, geniuses pick green. Oh, that's what I was given. Well, of course it was. 2-2. The pitch. Grounded foul outside of third. Well, I'm glad that's all squared away. Elvis Peguero looking for a ground ball. He's good at it. That sinker. 2-2. Instead of fly ball. Going to be playable in foul territory for Terang, who makes the catch. Take that. Now go get your ground ball with Jonathan India, who's 1 for 3 with a single. We're talking about brats, and there are no better brats on the planet than Usinger's. Usinger's Sausage, Milwaukee's family-owned and operated sausage house since 1880, made exclusively in Milwaukee for 145 years. It's America's finest at Usinger's. India takes strike one. 96-mile-an-hour turbo sinker. No action in the Royals bullpen, which would give you the impression that Bubic is going to go out for another inning. Pitch, a swing and a miss, and a nasty slider. Bubic at 83 pitches. He's working on a 3-hit shutout. Why not roll with him? 0-2 on India. And Peguero deals low. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, sometimes you look at that and you say, okay, well, the pitch count's getting there. It's early in the season, but he hasn't given up any hard contact all day long. That tells you a lot as well about his effectiveness.
Liner into left, a base hit by India. That came with 2 strikes on him. And India advances the runner to second base, first and second with 1 out. For the beef of the order, Bobby Witt Jr., a single, a line out, a hit by pitch, and a couple of stolen bases, and another trip to the mound by Brewers pitching coach Chris Hook. Brought to you by Potawatomi Sportsbook. They've got everything for you. Betting kiosks, video wall, seating for over 200, food, drink, VIP seating. If they don't have it, you don't need it. Sports betting paradise, bet above the rest at Potawatomi. While Peguero and Hook chat, an early call for station identification on the Brewers radio network. With Lane Grindle, Josh Mauer, Kent Sommerfeld, Jeff Levering aboard in the top of the 6th inning of the home opener of the 2025 season. Brewers and Kansas City Royals. 3 runs in the first for Kansas City. They got 1 in the second on a solo homer by Michael Garcia. Elvis Peguero on in relief after Elvin Rodriguez went the first 4. Hudson went the 5th. And now Peguero. Ground ball from getting out of the inning, and Witt swings and misses at the first pitch. A slider from Peguero, and it's 0-1. Great to be back in Milwaukee. Great to be back home, watching the Brewers at American Family Field. Beautiful ballpark. The 0-1. Hit to left, not deep. Yelich comes in a couple of steps and makes the catch. Slider, Witt swung and ran out of bat. 2 away for Pasquantino. Packed house today. 6 more games on this homestand. 2 against the Royals and then 4 against Cincinnati. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. First dip into the National League Central. Pasquantino ready, and Peguero's pitch. Outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Peguero about ready to throw his 20th pitch of the inning. Hudson threw 30 in the 5th. The 1-0. Hit towards center. Mitchell got a good jump on it, runs it down, and that ends the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 2 left. Bottom of the 6th coming up. 4-0 Kansas City on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance.
Let's see if you can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo Taco, a home run hit to the opposite field.
Austin Hayes with an Oppo Taco. His 13th, and it's a 1-run game.
Expand your vocabulary by listening to every game on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard. Go crazy.
Catch the next unforgettable call on the MLB app and MLB.com.
All the big hits.
At the wall, gone! No doubt about it!
All the great grabs.
Wow! You gotta be kidding me! Put a cape on him!
And all the swagger.
And he does it in grand fashion!
Relive the day's biggest plays all in one lightning-fast hour.
Oh my goodness! What a show! You better believe it!
Quick Pitch. Late nights and early mornings only on MLB Network.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager said the following.
I really don't know what to say. I'm just so happy I gave something these people cheer. We all did. I mean, it was a great game. Both teams played incredible. It was a great...
Bottom of the 6th, middle of the order coming up for a 3rd time against Chris Bubic, Hoskins, Frelick, and Capra. Bubic at 83 pitches, and Kansas City leading it by a score of 4-0. Bubic throws home. Hoskins takes high, ball 1. 6th inning is the Woodman's Food Market's home run inning. Our contestant is Sandy Beetzel from Waterford. $200 in the jackpot for Sandy if a member of the Brewers hits a home run in the inning. 1-0 is a ball low. 2 balls, no strikes. $100 will be added to the total for each additional home run this inning. Visit any participating Woodman's store to enter. Service and savings, that's Woodman's. 8 strikeouts for Bubic in his 5 scoreless so far. The 2-0. Hoskins on the ground to short. Backhanded by Witt. Crow hopping to throw to first in plenty of time to get Hoskins. 1 up and 1 down. Royals have action in their bullpen for the first time. Angel Serpa is getting ready, left-hander. And Sal Frelick is at the plate. Frelick, a walk and a fly out to left. First pitch is outside, ball 1. Grab the perfect Brewers gear for spring with a lightweight hoodie giveaway at the game on April 5th. That's coming up this week. First 25,000 fans through the gates will take home the hoodie, courtesy of Quartz. Go to Brewers.com, get your tickets right now. 1-0 pitch, outside, 2 balls and no strikes. It's a good-looking hoodie. Had a chance to hold one up on TV the other day. It's sharp.
I think I saw you holding it up on TV the other day because we could see into your booth from where we were.
A 2-0 to Frelick is a strike, and it's 2-1.
Was that during a spring training game, or was that in New York?
It was in New York, just a couple days ago.
I remember seeing it. All this stuff starts to run together for me a little bit.
They always
do. Into baseball mode.
Yep, they always do.
Where did I see that?
Can you hear me now? Good. Here's the 2-1. Swing and a miss. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Frelick chased up and out of the zone. It's a good-looking hoodie. It's light. It's blue, light blue, and it has the grill patch from the City Connect jersey on it on the right sleeve. It's good. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and the pitch home. Popped up. Left side of the infield. Who wants it? Witt is calling for it. Makes the catch of the skin of the infield dirt. So ground out and a pop up to short, and it's Vinny Capra. Today's attendance, 41,922. Great crowd today. The Brewers are hoping to give them something to cheer about. They've been pretty quiet. Vinny Capra, a pop-up and a strikeout. Bubic throws strike one with a sweeper. Bubic has allowed just one hit since the second inning. It's Terang's knock to lead off the fifth. Capra fouls it away, and it's a quick 0-2 on Vinny Capra. And Bubic not doing anything out of the ordinary. Just here it is and hit it. Been sequenced well with Salvador Perez behind the plate. But he has thrown a gem to this point. 0-2 on Capra, right-handed batter. Bubic throws home, and it's served down the right field line, foul into the third deck.
Yeah, I'm impressed the third time through he's been so effective. It's been 5 up and 5 down this third time through. With the lack of variety of what he's throwing, you would have thought third time through maybe some different results. And frankly, maybe the Royals would have been a little more aggressive with their bullpen in that scenario too, thinking the same thing.
Well, Serpa's ready in the pen. Capra, ground ball back towards the middle, right in front of the bag, and now the second baseman Massey fields and throws, and Capra's out. The inning ends. Still nothing hard hit against Bubic, who worked 6 scoreless innings in the Brewers' home opener. We go to the 7th inning. It's the Royals 4 and the Brewers 9.
Can't get enough baseball? Start streaming MLB Network today. Get up to 15 out-of-market games a week live on any device, plus 24/7 access to MLB Network's award-winning shows, including live game look-ins and exclusive player interviews. And hear live radio play-by-play from all 30 clubs with MLB at Bat. Enjoy the home of baseball from virtually anywhere. Plans start as low as $5.99 per month. Sign up now at MLBnetwork.com/stream. Available in the U.S. only. Blackout restriction applies. Visit MLB.com/subscribe for full terms and conditions.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard. Go crazy.
Catch the next unforgettable call on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Let's see if we can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo Taco, a home run hit to the opposite field.
Austin Hayes with an Oppo Taco. His 13th, and it's a 1-run game.
Expand your vocabulary by listening to every game on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager said the following.
I really don't know what to say. I'm just so happy I gave something these people cheer. We all did. I mean, it was a great game. Both teams played incredible. It was a great game.
That's Mike Piazza after he hit an 8th inning.
7th inning in Milwaukee. Brewers chasing 4. Piguero back out there and back to call it. Here's Lane.
All right, thank you very much, Jeff. Salvi Perez lead things off for Kansas City. First pitch from Piguero is in there with a slider for a strike, and it's 0-1. Salvi Perez, 1 for 2 with a walk today as Piguero kicks and delivers, and that sinker missed low. 1-1 on Perez. MVP of the 2015 World Series. He has been around a long time. He has put together a potential Hall of Fame career in Kansas City. The 1-1 is a bouncer foul up the third baseline. It's 1-2. He's one of the all-time Royals. That list starts with George Brett. And the next 2 guys on that list, before it's all said and done, might be this guy and the guy they have at shortstop today. Those 2 guys are going to be right up there in the top 5 of all time. 1-2 is hit fouling out of play first base side. Stays at 1-2 on Salvi Perez.
I mean, I absolutely think that he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, I do too.
all the gold gloves, all the silver sluggers, the all-star appearances, all while catching.
And I think when Salvi Perez first came up, and you looked at him, and he's such a big guy behind the plate. As Figueroa looks in and brings home the 1-2 pitch, nearly hit him, missed inside, 2 balls and 2 strikes. If you watched him play early in his career, say, okay, he's a great player, but there's no way he's going to be able to stick behind the plate and be durable enough to stay healthy throughout his career. And he's had a couple of years where the injury bug got him, but for the most part, he's been healthy. 2-2 is a high drive down the left field line. If it's fair, it's gone, and it is a fair ball. And Salvi Perez has homered for the first time this year. It's 5-0 Kansas City. A slider, inner half, and at 35 years of age, Salvi Perez is still a very dangerous hitter. 27 home runs a season ago, and as we said, as he trots around the bases, that is a future Hall of Famer in my book.
One of his best offensive seasons last year. 27 homers, 104 RBIs, hit .271. Remember, he led the league in homers back in 2021. It's getting better as his years go on, like a fine wine.
Here's Michael Massey, and the first pitch to Massey's in there for a strike. It's 0-1. And he's always been one of the most well-liked guys in the game, always smiling. Kind of has a little bit of a Willie Adames persona about him. Liner into right. That's going to drop in there in front of Sal Frelick on a couple of hops for Michael Massey, and he's got a single. And the Royals with some good swings against Figueroa here in the 7th inning. But that kind of an impact on a clubhouse, too. And that's why they stuck with Salvi Perez, even through those lean years in Kansas City when they were moving everybody else and letting everybody else sign somewhere else. They wanted him to be that consistent player that was around for the next group of young players to develop under. Here's Hunter Renfroe, and he bounces one foul near the Royals on deck circle. It's 0-1.
And that's what they've got right now.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, he came up with the Moustakas, the Hosmers. That was his group.
And he's been essentially a mentor to this group.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the 0-1. Fouled straight back into the net. And it's 0-2 on Renfroe.
Even Lorenzo Cain, part of that group, even though he wasn't signed and drafted by Kansas City, he got there as a young player.
Alex Gordon.
Yep.
Part of that core. Alcides Escobar, another former Brewer that was a part of that group. 0-2 pitch. Missed inside, 1 ball and 2 strikes. That Royals team in 14 and 15, as Brendan Miller has just tossed Ricky Weeks from this game. Brewers dugout has been barking a little bit about the strike zone with Brendan Miller. And Brendan Miller just tossed Ricky Weeks from this game. He's out of the dugout now, and Pat Murphy's going to come and try to get in the middle of this. Chris Conroy standing between Brendan Miller and Ricky Weeks, and now Ricky is headed back into the dugout, and Pat Murphy trying to get a further explanation. One thing about Brendan Miller is he didn't make it a mystery who he tossed. He said, "You're gone, Ricky," and you knew right away who he was talking to. It's been a tight strike zone for the most part today, but it's been a little bit of a moving target at times as well. That pitch that Ricky was barking about to Renfroe, that was probably a ball. It was close, borderline pitch. Pat Murphy on his way back into the dugout. I think more of a culmination of things for the Brewers.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was the tip of the iceberg of frustrations.
So a ball and 2 strikes on Renfroe. The pitch. Fly ball center. Backpedaling a couple of steps is Mitchell. He's underneath of it, makes the catch. And there's one away. 1 in on the solo home run from Salvi Perez. Runner at first and 1 out now for MJ Melendez. But I was saying, the one thing about that Royals team, or teams, they went to back-to-back World Series in 14 and 15, that core and the way they played in some ways defied analytics Here's a bouncer up the third baseline, foul from Melendez, 0-1. And they won with great defense. They were aggressive on the base paths. An elite bullpen. What does that remind you of?
Yeah.
Right? A little bit of what the blueprint of the Brewers have tried to implement over the last couple of years as well. One down in the dirt. And it's 1-1 on Melendez.
It's almost as if the Brewers looked at that Royals run and said, okay, well, you can win in a small market, and you just got to do it the right way.
It's basically the only small market team that has won the whole thing. There have been small market teams, of course, that have gotten to the World Series in the last handful of years. This is hit off the end of the bat, foul up the third baseline, and it's 1-2 on Melendez. MJ Melendez, 0 for 3, couple of strikeouts today. Peguero brings home the 1-2 pitch, and it's a liner right past Peguero and into center field for a base hit. Stopping at second is Massey. Boy, that just whistled right past Elvis Peguero. And Elvis hit 36 pitches. Has pretty much put himself in a position where he won't be available tomorrow now for the Brewers after throwing multiple innings over the weekend as well this early in the year. And now here's Mark Canha as Grant Anderson starts to get loose in the Brewers bullpen.
Similar situation to Yoel Payamps where he's got to get an inning in, but he threw 30 pitches yesterday. Now he's down for today.
Pitch missed away, and it's 1-0. So many moving pieces, especially when you have injuries in your rotation, to try to make this whole puzzle fit. And at times, I'm sure Pat Murphy needs an Advil trying to make it all work. He and Chris Hook, and Jim Henderson, and that whole group as Canha takes low, and it's 2 balls and no strikes.
He was kidding around before the game, kind of kidding, when he said, I need to come to these things with my rubric of who's available and who's pitching where, so that I know where my rehabbers are and their timetables.
2-0 is in there for a strike. It's 2-1. Yeah, that's the other side of it. When you have this many guys injured and they're trying to work their way back, trying to keep track of, he's throwing in Arizona and extended spring training right now. This guy's got a rehab assignment. This guy's going to do a bullpen with us on the road, or he's going to sim a game. Pitch is inside to Canha. 3 balls and a strike here on Mark Canha. What we've seen to start the year, and it's the 4th game, but what we've seen is just how incredible last year was with all the injuries, how the Brewers were able to navigate it so seamlessly. 3-1. That missed inside. Canha works the walk, and now the bases are loaded. And Pat Murphy is up out of the dugout, and that's going to be it for Elvis Peguero as Grant Anderson's coming into this game. It's a U.S. Cellular call to the bullpen. Proud partner of the Milwaukee Brewers, and they remind you that when the game is on, turn your notifications off with Us Mode. U.S. Cellular, built for us. 5-0 Kansas City. 1 out here in the top of the 7th inning. And the bases loaded for the Royals. Grant Anderson coming into this game on the Brewers Radio Network. Presented by American Family Insurance.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager said the following.
I really don't know what to say. I'm just so happy I gave something these people cheer. We all did. I mean, it was a great game. Both teams played incredible. It was a great game.
That's Mike Piazza after he hit an 8th inning go-ahead home run in the first New York Mets home game after 9/11. Hear moments like this and more on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Let's see if you can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo Taco, a home run hit to the opposite field.
Austin Hayes with an Oppo Taco. His 13th, and it's a 1-run game.
Expand your vocabulary by listening to every game on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go.
Kansas City lead. If the Brewers have any visions of a comeback, Grant Anderson's going to have to be a big part of it. Pitch is over but high to Garcia with a two-seam fastball. It's 1-0. Those are the pitches right there the Brewers have had some issues with over the course of this game. From home plate umpire Brendan Miller. Pitch, that's a strike. Basically the same pitch. And it's 1-1. Drive Around the League. It's brought to you by Construction Business Group, Wisconsin operating engineers and trusted contractors building Wisconsin together. Anderson's 1-1 to Garcia. Breaking ball missed low, and it's 2-1. There was a no-hitter going for a while in Chicago between the White Sox and the Twins. Martin Perez was on the mound for the White Sox. He threw 6 no-hit innings. The bullpen then gave up a hit, but it's a 9-0 lead for Chicago. That game's in the top of the 8th inning. Down at Rate Field now, I think is all it's called. Pitch misses, 3-1.
Not guaranteeing anything.
No, I think it's just Rate Field, right?
I think that's right.
Anderson looking into Garcia, the number 9 hitter. And the 3-1 pitch. And that missed high. And it's a bases-loaded walk. And that pitch was pretty close to being a strike, as was another one in that sequence. But regardless, it's a bases-loaded walk, and the Royals lead at 6-0. And now back to the top of the order, and Jonathan India. So India, who's 2 for 4 today. He has played in this ballpark a lot over the years in the NL Central. Breaking ball way outside. It's 1-0. It's been a tough start to the year for the Brewers, specifically on the mound, but today offensively just have not been able to get anything going against the Royals starter Chris Bubich. 1-0. And that is a liner into left center field, down for a base hit. 1 run is in. A second run in Canna being waved around third. He will score. And it is now 8-0 Kansas City here in the 7th, with runners on the corners and 1 away. Jonathan India with his 3rd hit of this game. It's a 2-run single. Garcia ends up at 3rd. And still just 1 out in the inning as Bobby Witt Jr. comes to the plate. He is the 8th hitter of this inning for Kansas City. Anderson brings home the first pitch and it misses up and away. It's 1-0. Other action right now, you have Baltimore leading Boston 4-3 in Baltimore. That game's in the top of the 6th inning, and they're in the bottom of the 5th in Philadelphia. No score between the Rockies and the Phillies. 1-0 pitch is a swing and a foul off the gear of Contreras. It's 1-1 on Bobby Witt Jr. Has a hit today. It was an infield single against Elvin Rodriguez. He's been hit by a pitch as well. He's officially 1 for 3. Anderson brings home the 1-1, and that's a swing and a miss. Two-seam fastball right down the middle. It's 1-2. Eight to nothing Kansas City. They've played at 4 here in the top of the 7th. 1-2 pitch is high. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Inning began with a solo home run just inside the pole down the left field line by Salvi Perez. A bases loaded walk, and then a bases loaded 2 RBI single from Jonathan India. The 2-2 to Witt, and that is lined into right. That's going to get down for a base hit for Bobby Witt Jr. Trotting home is Garcia. India goes first to third. It's an RBI single for Bobby Witt Jr., and the Royals have broke it open here in the 7th. It is 9-0 Kansas City. They have played at 5, and there is still just 1 out. So plenty of work to do still for Grant Anderson just to get out of this inning, as the 9th hitter of the inning, Vinny Pasquantino, comes to the plate. 9 runs on 12 hits this afternoon for KC. No runs on just 3 hits for the Brewers. And the pitch, line foul down the right field line. And it's 0-1 on Pasquantino. Pasquantino had an injury late in spring training. Soft tissue issue. And there were some concerns about if he would be ready by the beginning of the season. 0-1 is over but low. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. And he was very adamant right away. No, I'm going to be fine. I got to let the trainers do their thing, but I feel like I can play. And he was right. He was able to avoid the injured list, and he's been in the lineup pretty much every day for KC. Anderson's 1-1 is high. It's 2 balls and 1 strike. 9-0 Royals here in the home opener for the Brewers. After a tough weekend in the Bronx, it has continued and carried over into at least game 1 of the home schedule. 2-1. Swing and a miss. He went after a changeup down below the zone. It's 2-2. Two pitch. Fouled out of play, third base side. And it stays at 2-2 on Pasquantino. Elvin Rodriguez started this game for the Crew. He went 4 innings, gave up 6 hits, 4 runs. Hudson worked a adventure of a 5th inning, but put up a 0. 2-2. Here's a ground ball knocked down by Hoskins. Steps on the bag and then throws home and throws it wide of Contreras. So India will score from third. Now heading to third and getting in there safely is Bobby Witt Jr. So Pasquantino is out. That ball was hit very hard right at Hoskins. He knocked it down, picked it up, stepped on the bag, and then he turned to fire home. And he wasn't going to get him anyway. The throw was wide of the plate, but even if he makes a good throw, India was going to be safe. And now you've got Witt Jr. at third with 2 outs, and it's 10-0 Kansas City. And Salvi Perez, who homered to start up this inning, comes to the plate as the Royals have batted around. And he hits a soft liner into center, but coming in and making the catch is Mitchell. And the inning is over. So Pasquantino grounds out and gets credit for an RBI. The error allows Witt to get to third, but it didn't matter because Perez lined out to Mitchell. And a 6-run 7th for the Royals finally comes to an end. We go to the bottom of the 7th. Kansas City flexing their muscles right now, up 10-0 on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance.
A message from President Trump himself.
We're just days away from the most important election happening in your state this year, the race for Wisconsin Supreme Court on Tuesday, April 1st. And I'm asking that everyone get out and vote for a wonderful American patriot, a tough-on-crime judge, Brad Schimmel. Brad Schimmel is a champion of the rule of law. He stands for fair and impartial justice and will always back the blue. He's always backed the blue. Brad served as a prosecutor for over 25 years and locked up gang members, drug dealers, and human traffickers, the kind of people that they let into our country. If you support law and order in Wisconsin, Brad Schimmel is the one to do it. I mean, he is just an outstanding person. His opponent is a very deranged, Soros-funded left-wing lunatic who opposes voter ID, wants to trample on our Constitution, is endorsed by socialist Bernie Sanders. It's so important to get out and vote for Brad Schimmel.
I'm Brad Schimmel, paid for by Schimmel for Justice.
What's on Tap? Brought to you by Miller Lite, the original light beer. Rooting for the Brew Crew because we're from Milwaukee too. Tastes like Miller time. Enjoy Brewers action all summer with a season ticket plan. Secure the best savings up to 35% plus the best locations and benefits, like access to season seat member rewards and savings on parking. Learn more at brewers.com/ticket finder. Milwaukee Brewers baseball and Miller Lite.
The sound of baseball.
All the big hits. All the great grabs.
Wow! You gotta be kidding me! What a cape on him!
And all the swagger.
And he does it in grand fashion.
Relive the day's biggest plays all in one lightning fast hour.
Oh, my goodness! What a
a show. You better believe it.
Quick Pitch. Late nights and early mornings only on MLB Network.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager said the following.
I really don't know what to say. I'm just so happy I gave something these people cheer. We all did. I mean, it was a great game. Both teams played incredible. It was a great game.
That's Mike Piazza after he hit an 8th inning go-ahead home run in the first New York Mets home game after 9/11. Hear moments like this and more on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard. Go crazy.
Catch the next unforgettable call on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Let's see if we can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo Taco.
Isaac Collins has ported himself well off the Brewers bench in the first 4 games of this year. Had a big swing on opening day in New York. Brewers really had such an opportunity to steal that game in the 9th inning on Thursday. Came up a little bit short. And, of course, the last couple of days in the Bronx got lopsided. Saturday early, Sunday late. This one getting lopsided late as well. Serpa's first pitch to Collins has popped up foul and back of home plate, and catch made by a fan. 0-1 on Isaac Collins. A 1. Collins takes inside, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Guy took it away from a kid. Come on now. The little kid right next to him. Let the little kid have it.
Yeah. 1-1 is down. 2 balls and 1 strike. Did he hear about it a little bit?
No. Cubs fan. I get it.
2-1 on Isaac Collins. Serpa brings home the pitch, and a liner into right. That is down for a base hit. It's going to get past Melendez and roll all the way to the wall. Extra bases for Isaac Collins as he motors into second, and that is the loudest ovation since this game began. A little bit of life from this Brewers offense. They just have not hit the ball hard today, but Isaac Collins just lined a double into the left field corner. So the leadoff man aboard for just the second time today for the Crew, and that is a $75 double courtesy of Westman, the silver lining to the MAC Fund, with that double hit by Isaac Collins. So here's Joey Ortiz, and he takes high, and it's 1-0. It's been a quiet day offensively. That ball was hit 111 miles per hour off the bat of Isaac Collins. Serpa's pitch. This is fouled out of play, first base side. One ball and 1 strike on Joey. Serpa, 25 years old. And drops a strike in there on Ortiz. 1-2 is the count. Debuted all the way back in 21 with the Royals. Made a start for them in 21. The only appearance that he made that year. 1-2, called, 3rd strike. Ooh. Brewers didn't like the call. Pitch, pretty good pitch. That hasn't been a strike all day today, but by the box we're given, that probably is right on the edge and probably a pretty good call by Brendan Miller. So here's Bryce Terang. Brewers saw Serpa last year in Kansas City. Had a 3.86 ERA, over 60 appearances a season ago. as Turang takes a breaking ball in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. Bryce 1 for 2 today. Serpa's 0-1. And that caught the outside corner on a slider. And it's 0-2. Pretty good pitches from Serpa in this at-bat so far. And Bryce will use his timeout and backs out of the box. 10-0 Kansas City. They've out-hit the Brewers 12-4 in this game. Serpa's 0-2. That missed wide. And it's 1-2 now on Turang. Churio in the on-deck circle. Collins at second, one away, bottom of the 7th inning. Home opener here in Milwaukee. 1-2. That's up and away. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Serpa looks in. Here's the 2-2. Down and away, and after an 0-2 start, Bryce Turang has battled back and worked the count full. Brewers need base runners, and a lot of them, if they want to try to take a chunk out of this deficit. Serpa's 3-2 pitch. Swung on and fouled back. And we'll do it again at 3-2. Good job spoiling that pitch by Turang. That was a quality pitch. Right on that inside edge. Been a little mystery today on that pitch if it's a strike or not. You certainly wouldn't want to leave it up to Brendan Miller. Foul it off and live to see another one. Serpa brings home the 3-2, and it's a ground ball off the foot of Serpa. It kicks over to Massey at second base. The throw to first is in time to get Turang. Very close play, but a good job by Massey to charge that after it hit off the foot of Serpa, who is now hunched over and in some pain. And I think he got him at first. Brewers will certainly take a look and see if they want to challenge, but I don't think that they will. Turang is making his way back into the dugout, and the Royals trainer out to check on Serpa. He's smiling now, so he must feel like he's going to be okay. Collins ends up at third. It'll go 1-4-3 on the put out of Turang.
Adrenaline pumping right now through Serpa. Hit him right in the back of the calf. Ouch. Not a lot of hard hit balls today for the Brewers, but that was one of them.
Yeah, they've had some hard contact against Serpa here in this inning. I mean, Isaac Collins at 111. That one 101. 102 off the bat of Bryce Turang. And Serpa taking some warm-up tosses to see if he's all right. The first one sailed back to the backstop. Matt Quatrero is out there as well, observing just to make sure that Serpa's okay. And early on in the year, a lot of times you'll err on the side of caution in these situations, but they're going to leave him in. See if anybody gets up in that bullpen quickly, just in case things start to tighten up a little bit on Serpa as he goes along. So runner at third and 2 outs and a 10-0 Kansas City lead. And here's Jackson Churio, who has struck out 3 times today, coming to the plate for the Crew. First offering to Jackson is popped up foul back our way and into the third deck. Behind home plate, it's 0-1.
Tell you, one of the themes of Jackson Churio this year is he is awfully aggressive on the first pitch.
0-1. That's down in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Yeah, he has been up there hacking a lot, which is a little unique when you're in the leadoff spot like he has been. Usually you want to see that guy take some pitches. But Jackson, a guy that can do so much damage, he probably figures if he's going to get a first pitch strike, it might be the best pitch he gets in the at-bat. 1-1. And that is driven out to right center field. Garcia going back. It's over his head, and it'll one-hop the wall. Collins scores from third. Jackson jogging into second with an RBI double. Brewers on the board. It is the Royals 10 and the Brewers 1. Good swing from Jackson Churio. Change up, a little bit away, and he just sent it out over the head of Michael Garcia. And it one hop the wall, $75 to the Mac Fund, courtesy of Westman, the Silver Lining. Thanks to that double, and now here's Yelich. Serpa's pitch is in there for a strike on a slider, and it's 0-1. Yelich 0 for 2 today. He reached in the third when he was hit by a pitch. Lefty-lefty matchup here. Serpa brings home the 0-1, and that's down and away. 1 ball and 1 strike. Couple of doubles in this inning. Brewers had 3 hits in the game coming in. And now a couple of doubles in this 7th. By far the best swings they've had all afternoon long. 1-1 is a chopper on the right side. Big hop for Canna. He will feed Serpa, who beats Yelich to the bag. And the inning is over. Brewers do get on the board on the RBI double from Jackson Churio. We head to the 8th. 10-1, Kansas City on the Brewers Radio Network.
Let's see if we can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo Taco, a home run hit to the opposite field.
Austin Hayes with an Oppo Taco. His 13th, and it's a 1-run game.
Expand your vocabulary by listening to every game on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard. Go crazy.
Catch the next unforgettable call on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager said the following.
I really don't know what to say. I'm just so happy I gave something these people cheer. We all did. I mean, it was a great game. Both teams played incredible. It was a great game.
That's Mike Piazza after he hit an 8th inning go-ahead home run in the first New York Mets home game after 9/11. Hear moments like this and more on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Off Base is coming in a brand new format. Join Lauren Gardner and Xavier Scruggs as they explore all the baseball buzz across social media, pop culture, and around the majors. The Off Base Podcast, Sundays at 11 a.m. Eastern, only on MLB Network. The MLB Network Podcast.
Brewers teamed up again with the Milwaukee Admirals to offer a hockey night ticket package, including 1 Brewers ticket for April 3rd and a hockey-style hooded sweatshirt. Get tickets at Brewers.fly.
Isaac Collins, by the way, takes over in right field, moving Sal Frelick over to center. Anderson's pitch is hit foul by Tolbert. 1 ball and 1 strike. Tyler Tolbert just added to the roster today. 13th round pick out of UAB, University of Alabama, Birmingham. That pitch is inside from Grant Anderson. This is his major league debut. A couple of games in AAA Omaha, was 2 for 7. 2-1 coming. Hit off the end of the bat, foul first base side, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Last year, the majority of the season in AA Northwest Arkansas. Overall hit 240 with 4 homers and 41 driven in all told. He's got 243 career stolen bases in the minor leagues over 6 years. He's been caught just 16 times in his career. He's got one of the best stolen base percentages ever. And he takes a called third strike on a breaking ball from Anderson, so he won't get to see his speed because he strikes out. Ortho ASAP strikeout for Grant Anderson, his first.
I don't care how fast you are. You have to have a great feel for the game, though, to be that successful.
243 for 259 in his stolen base attempts. That's 94%. And I gave you some perspective. As Hunter Renfroe takes down and away, 1 ball and no strikes. Since 2019, no player in the major leagues or minor leagues combined has more stolen bases or a higher success rate. The 1-0 is a strike, and it's 1-1. For reference, Hall of Famer Rickey Henderson, who passed in the offseason, was successful on 81% of his attempts during his 25-year big league career. That's a great number, 81%.
Yeah. Best base stealer ever.
Yeah, right? Tolbert was 48 of 53 last season.
It's like automatic almost.
Yeah. Hey, he can hit a little bit, too. He's not just a runner. He's not a Terrence Gore one-trick pony, right?
Well, I mean, that's the thing. When you can run like that.
1-2 to Renfroe. Is low.
It has to impact the pitches you get at the plate.
Yeah.
I mean, the last thing anybody wants to do is walk you and have a walk turn into a double or a triple.
It's Billy Hamilton.
Yeah.
But Hamilton just couldn't hit consistently or bunt. 2-2 down and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Anyway, just interesting to talk about. Art of the stolen base. The Brewers stole a ton of bases last year. The 3 in the big leagues. Nationals and Reds. 3-2. Renfroe out to left. In the ballpark for Yelich. 2 away. MJ Melendez got his first hit of the season last time he came to the plate. Scored a run as part of that 6-run 7th inning. 2 outs, nobody on in the 8th for Melendez. 8th inning is brought to you by the Wisconsin Laborers District Council. Earn great union wages and benefits building Wisconsin's infrastructure. Learn more at liuna.wisconsin.org and feel the power. First pitch swinging strike on Melendez. Anderson throws home, and it's flipped into shallow left. Out goes Ortiz. In comes Yelich to make the play. And a 1-2-3 inning for the first time today for a Brewers pitcher. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Brewers are chasing 9 on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance.
Steve Scafidi is your guide through the world of politics.
Great moments in baseball have been broadcast on the radio since 1921.
Smith corks one into right down the line. It may go. Go crazy, folks. Go crazy. It's a home run, and the Cardinals have won the game by the score of 3-2 on a home run by the Wizard. Go crazy.
Catch the next unforgettable call on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Let's see if you can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco. Do you know what it means? Oppo Taco, a home run hit to the opposite field.
Austin Hayes with an Oppo Taco. His 13th, and it's a 1-run game.
Expand your vocabulary by listening to every game on the MLB app and MLB.com.
Take a hack at guessing which baseball player or manager said the following.
I really don't know what to say. I'm just so happy I gave something these people cheer. We all did. I mean, it was a great game. Both teams played incredible. It was a great game.
That's Mike Piazza after he hit an 8th inning go-ahead home run in the first New York Mets home game after 9/11. Hear moments like this and more on the MLB app and MLB.com.
It's time to say hello, baseball, as spring training continues on MLB Network. Get an in-depth look at every club with daily coverage all the way to opening day. Check in with the players. Check out the new rosters. Plus, the most live spring
we're talking about goes out into center field. All that speed is going to be on display. New pitcher for for Kansas City, I should say, is Daniel Lynch, left-hander, and a foul back from William Contreras, and it's 0-1. Contreras today, 0 for 3, couple of Ks and a comebacker to the mound. 0-1, up and in. Ball and strike on Contreras. 41,922 in the ballpark today. Sellout, first of the year, first of many, hopefully. Swing and a miss by Contreras. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Lynch winds and fires. Outside. Brewers have seen nothing but lefties today. Bubic to lefties, 6 scoreless innings. Serpa went 1 inning and gave up a run on a couple of doubles. Struck out 1, didn't walk any batters. Only 1 walk today issued by Royals pitching. 2-2 to Contreras is high. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And Grant Anderson just up today from AAA Nashville. 2 innings of work. He's given up 1 run. Pitch is up and in, and it's a leadoff walk. Second straight inning, the Brewers have had the leadoff man on base to start the frame. And now it's Rhys Hoskins. Nothing warms up a cool spring day like Usinger's sausage hot off the grill. Grab it, dip it in some Pine River cold packed cheese spread. You don't even need the bun. Then cleanse your palate and tickle your taste buds with some delicious Cedar Crest ice cream or sherbet. It's going to taste good after the game today. First pitch strike on Hoskins. You know what else sounds good? It's sunny outside, deceptively, because it's cool. Not a warm, sunny day, but at least a sunny day. That's inside on Hoskins. 1 ball, 1 strike, and makes you think of shandy season. Leinenkugel's Summer Shandy. Refreshing Weiss beer, natural lemonade flavor. Leinenkugel's flavor the moment. 1-1. Hoskins hits it foul. Ball and 2 strikes. One and 2. Lynch throws and a swing and a miss. He changed up on Hoskins, gets the strikeout. 1 gone in the 8th. And Brewers have now struck out 10 times. Sal Frelick coming up. Well, 2 huge post-game concerts are coming to the ballpark this season. Stick around after the game. June 27th. You got some time to plan. Off the end of the bat, off the glove of Lynch, and he does not recover in time. Sal Frelick will reach on an infield single. Another infield hit for the Brewers. That's their 3rd in this game. Frelick on for a 2nd time. And Vinny Capra is going to be the hitters. The post-game concert on the 27th will be courtesy of Nelly. And then, we're talking about huge post-game concerts. DJ Diesel, Shaq, September the 18th. Get tickets at brewers.com/concerts. Ground ball to short. That should be 2 to second for 1. On to first. It is a double play, and that ends the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. On to the 9th. 10-1 Kansas City on the Brewers Radio Network.
It's time to say hello, baseball, as spring training continues on MLB Network. Get an in-depth look at every club with daily coverage all the way to opening day. Check in with the players. Check out the new rosters. Plus, the most live spring training games anywhere. Smile. It's already spring on MLB Network. Live games continue. Presented by Best Western. Go to MLBNetwork.com for schedule and channel number.
Let's see if we can figure out the following baseball slang term. Today's phrase is Oppo Taco. Do you know what it means?
suspension has been served from last April's fracas with the Tampa Bay Rays. The 1-0 is a liner to left by Biggio. That's down for a base hit. They will send the runner, and he's going to score. The third base coach never sent the runner from third, Mark Canna. Canna just ran. And it's going to be an RBI single for Kevin Biggio. So it's 11-1. Maybe a verbal go, go, go. Never got any wave around. Bobby Witt Jr., 2 for 4 today. Single on the infield, an RBI single to right, and he lines one to center. Frelick back, makes the catch. That never got about 12 feet off the ground. A missile out to center hit by Bobby Witt Jr. for an out. 2 away for Vinny Pasquantino. Freddie Peralta and Cole Reagans are your scheduled starters for a 12:10 start on Wednesday. Early kickoff. Freddie Fermin hitting for Vinny Pasquantino, DH spot. And strike one from Anderson. Evening off tonight for a lot of these players. A chance to just recalibrate. Fermin fouls it away. Oh, and 2, get used to your surroundings. Maybe unpack a suitcase.
Yeah.
Doubt they had an opportunity to do that at all last night. 0-2 pitch. High. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And just try to settle yourself into the season a little bit. They've taken some punches to start this year, and now try to kind of get your feet back underneath of you.
And the other part is the Brewers have played nothing but day games. One lined away foul on the right side. You play so many night games over the course of a regular season. That's what you're used to. That's what your body clock is used to. Even in spring training, where you play virtually nothing but day games, your body clock is set for night games. You're going to get one finally tomorrow. 1-2. Down and away. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Get those bodies where they need to be. Baseball players are very routine oriented. You get them out of their routine and things can get off kilter. 2-2 pitch. Chopper foul, third base side. Brewers have given up double digits in each of the last 3 games. 20 on Saturday, 12 yesterday, and 11 more today. That's 47 runs allowed by this Brewers pitching staff. It will get better, I promise. 2-2. Down and away. 3 balls and 2 strikes. And this Brewers offense, yes, they scored 9 in Saturday's game in New York. The offense will get more consistent too. Anderson's pitch, runner goes, rolled foul again. 47 pitches for Grant Anderson, and if there is a savior for this game, it's Grant Anderson for this bullpen. Came in after Elvis Peguero, and you never know who was actually available at all for Pat Murphy today on that bullpen card. 3-2. Swing and a miss. He struck him out on a breaking ball that was way outside. Fermin is gone, and so are the Royals in the ninth. It's 11-1 as we go to the bottom of the ninth inning in Milwaukee on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance.
Take a hack at guessing which base.
bunt and looking to get to 500. The Brewers 3 outs away from falling to 0-4 for the first time since 2015. Kevin Biggio takes over at third as Collins rips one down the left field line, foul. Collins has scored the only run for the Brewers, doubled in the 7th, and then scored on the Churio RBI double. Eleven runs on 14 hits, 10 left for Kansas City. Foul back into the net by Collins. 1-2 on Isaac. A run on 6 hits and an error with 8 left on base for the Brewers. Joey Ortiz on deck, and then Bryce Terang. Brewers half of inning number 9. 1-2. Hit fouled again. Great gesture down in the South Dock where Uke used to park his car. It's the only guy who was able to park there. He and his wife Judy, they would park back to back. But that spot clearly vacant today. 1-2 pitch from Lynch. Collins hits it foul. And I'm guessing John Weyer in the Brewers warehouse, where the office is right there, put a piece of cardboard over his spot. A couple oil stains there from his vet. Not that he ever had a leaky car ever. Ground ball towards the middle, backhanded by Garcia. Throw to first. Wow. That's the kind of day it's been for the Brewers offense. Michael Garcia makes a terrific play to take a hit away from Collins. Before we continue our story, 10 seconds for ID on the Brewers Radio Network. Joey Ortiz at the plate, 11-1 Kansas City in the 9th. Pitch from Lynch is a strike, and it's 0-1. He would park his car in one singular yellow rose. Great gesture. Great gesture.
Over the years, when you would come to the ballpark and walk through South Dock and open the door and see his car there, and he had beat you to the ballpark, oh man, you just smiled. You knew it was going to be a great day because Uke was here.
0-2 the count on Joey Ortiz. Lynch fires home and misses high. That was always my goal, was to beat Bob to the ballpark. I never wanted him to beat me to the ballpark.
Yeah.
I always wanted to get here first. But I knew that if he beat me, I was totally okay with it because I got to see his car on the way in. It's down and in, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And like you said, it was going to be a great day.
Yeah, the last couple of years, he didn't beat us very often to the ballpark anymore. That's what made what he did so amazing.
Yeah.
But you go back 5 or 6 years ago, especially when I wasn't working as many home games and not working with him as often, he beat me to the ballpark every day. And you'd walk through South Dock and see his car there, and what are we in for tonight?
Best nights of your lives. It's down and in on Ortiz. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And in games like today's game, you'd never know where it was going to go. He'd start telling some story about Kansas City, and then it would morph into a story about Clete Boyer and Mickey Mantle or Billy Martin.
I remember he had the guy that would noodle catfish in Kansas City.
Yeah. Ground ball to short. Witt has it and throws out his counterpart. That ball was scalded by Ortiz, but right at Witt. Noodle and catfish in Kansas City.
Yeah, he had a guy that he knew that's what he did, and I think he brought catfish into the clubhouse one day for the team. This was years and years ago. But that, just to your point, like he had stories like that, always right there ready for you.
We got Cincinnati coming into town this weekend. First one to Terang, misses outside. 1 ball and no strikes. And I'm sure we will start talking about El Paso. Because there was a game that Uke and I did a while ago. And we started talking about the song El Paso, Marty Robbins' classic. 1-1 on Terang, pitch from Lynch. Swing and a miss. It's 1-2. I don't know if I told you this. On my way to the ballpark for our spring training opener, I found, it's easy to find on YouTube, but
yeah.
I turned on El Paso on my way to the ballpark just because I wanted to hear it.
Yeah.
And it brought me some real good joy thinking about talking about that song with you. Pitch is swing and a miss. Terang has gone on strikes, and this game is over. 11-1 the final score. The Brewers dropped the home opener to Kansas City. There will be a game tomorrow. We'll tell you about it. Wrap things up in just a moment on the Brewers Radio Network, presented by American Family Insurance.
Why is life better?